So if you're ambitious but overthink everything, watch this video. So maybe you're like me, you kind of know what you want to do, but your mind keeps on running on endless scenarios, second guessing every single decision. So how do you break free? Most advice actually tells you to trust yourself or stop overanalyzing, but that oftentimes feels like telling someone who's super anxious, like, hey, stop worrying, stop being so anxious. How do you exactly do that? So let's talk about it. I'm actually in Bangkok. I've been wanting to come here since pharmacy school since I was 25 years old. Back a few years ago, I was leaving the hospital. One of my last conversations I had with my dad was that he always wanted to go to Bangkok and he wanted to retire here. But since that time, after I quit pharmacy, that conversation always lingered in my head. And I almost felt this pull to go, like honoring that kind of vision or desire that he had. And so when I got back to LA, I remember sitting in my tiny apartment just trying to make things work after quitting pharmacy, and I just felt stuck. This guru course told me to create a vision board, and I actually did it. So I remember asking my ex at the time to print out these color photos because she had her hospital had a LaserJet color printer. But just like in pharmacy school, I always kind of did the responsible thing, and the thought just stayed with me. I told myself when I would go when things were more stable, when I had more money, when my business was in a better position, but also when my life just felt more settled. If I would be very real with myself, deep down inside, I think the real fear was, would it be worth it even after all this time? Just like a good friend kind of hypes up like a good restaurant, and it's like underwhelming. This was my life up until just 3 months ago. And it was literally on a phone call with my good friend Eugene Choi. And it just hit me. I was like, F it, why don't I just go?
Las Vegas to whatever. Get it, let's go. Oh my god, this feels like so surreal. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Nothing happening. You've been talking about it since the beginning of the year.
I literally did not plan accommodations or anything like that. Next thing you know, I landed in Japan, I went to Malaysia, I went to Singapore, and right now I'm in Bangkok, planning to go to Vietnam and Indonesia later. When I got here, I was like standing in the airport, and it just kind of really hit me that I finally did it. And the thing that I've been wanting for all these 6 years finally became real. I have to admit, throughout the last few years, I've just been feeling pretty broken. For example, my dating life. I noticed myself just being really attached to really toxic relationships. I've had really bad business relationships at times, and I've had fluctuations in my business at times. All, by the way, 100% my responsibility for choosing those things, including the ABGs. And I just kept on thinking during this time, there's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with me. When I got to airport, the feeling that I had wasn't just excitement. It felt very healing. It felt very restorative. Felt like I was doing something that this repressed child for so many years just wanted to do. This trip meant so much more to me than just traveling to a new place. I mean, I could have bought the ticket years ago, but I think it was about proving to myself that I could actually self-actualize my deepest goals. Because I think one of the most dangerous things is to delude ourselves into goals that we don't actually want. But there was a bigger realization. I started asking myself, well, if I'm overthinking this part of my life, where else am I kind of overthinking? And I know people talk about the right timing as the Cinderella story. And this is why we end up so miserable sometimes, because we have this expectation of a dream life in our head, but when it doesn't actually come true, we end up so disappointed. And what I find is the only way to actually know to see if a decision is right or to see if something is worth it is to actually do it. And so during this experience, I just kind of proved to myself that what I have in my mind, I can make into a reality. I was looking at my vision board the other day.
This is everything I want to do. That right hand corner I don't want to do anymore, but everything on the left hand corner was my goals from 2018. I have a purple belt now in jiu-jitsu. I make way more than what I originally wanted to. I'm going to Thailand, so behind the scenes, people are like, oh, your set looks really nice. And then I'm like, oh, that's dude.
And now I'm here in Thailand, and I saw a one champion fight the other day, which honestly was the best money I've ever spent in my life. I think the enjoyable part for me is really to be able to set goals and to remind myself that I have the power to create the life I want. This comes back to overthinking. I told myself that, oh yeah, I'm scared of taking action, but the truth was my track record kind of proved this was different. I went to pharmacy school, I started a business, I did so many of these unconventional things. And as I'm here, I'm realizing a lot of my childhood stuff coming up, where I remember all the times where My dad would come barge in my room and just yelling at me and just really making me feel horrible for all the mistakes that I made in my life, right? Even when I was just a kid, and it would be as simple as just like dropping a soup can on the ground by accident, like at the grocery store, or running the cart into my dad's leg where he yelled at me and beat the shit out of me. But I realized those type of interactions aren't normal. Like, I'm doing my best, but it's really hard to kind of uncondition those things. Even though like I repaired my relationship with my dad, it's still something I think about a lot. And that's why I kind of say like overthinking is often mislabeled as indecision. And we can often lie to ourselves saying that we're indecisive, right? When I look back and I actually had ChatGPT kind of analyze like my like patterns and stuff, ChatGPT said like I've proven time and time again that I make bold moves. I've taken major risks by like leaving pharmacy for high ticket sales in YouTube. I built multiple income streams. I push myself every single day with lifting, BJJ, and I'm on this new arc to really take care of my body and stuff too. I think an indecisive person wouldn't have done half of these things. And this is why I said if you're ambitious and you overthink, this is for you. Because if the core issue isn't indecision, then what keeps us in the loops of analysis? That's when I kind of realized the bigger problem. But I was and still really am scared of change. This overthinking is an attempt to get control over my life. And I wasn't always like this. Like if you look at my old pictures or my old videos in my 20s, I was always like going out. I thrived in the chaos. But as I got older and entered my 30s, I dealt with the loss of my dad dying, losing friends, losing clients, the breakups, moving to Las Vegas, starting a new life over again. And I think what I was really craving was just something that felt stable in my life again, because everything was just changing and it just felt so because everything was changing, I just felt like there was actually something wrong with me. But as I've been taking a lot of walks in Bangkok and just journaling in Asia, something I didn't realize was that this uncertainty is a good thing. It's actually growth. When I look at the last 6 years of my entrepreneurship journey, I grew so much more in my 12 plus years in pharmacy or in school. There's this really great quote by Brianna Weiss, and this quote really changed my paradigm of everything. Your brain can only perceive what is known when things don't work out the way that you want them to. You think you failed. In reality, you likely created something better but foreign, and your brain misinterpreted it as bad because of that. How do you break this cycle? Here are the 3 things that really helped me. So 1, redefine failure. What does that exactly mean? It typically means that something didn't go to our expectation. Whether you lost a jiu-jitsu competition, or you launched a business venture and maybe it didn't go so well, or maybe you did a sales call, or you shot your shot at a ABG and it didn't go the way it thought.
My camera froze. I gotta go.
Wait, before you leave, wait.
Ew, what?
Something that's really helped me is, instead of seeing these mistakes, right, as setbacks, really seeing them as fast tracking data collection. I know that's very Hormozy-esque, where it's like it kind of takes the emotion out of things, but something that's really helped me is knowing that every unexpected move has given me insights that I'd never get by staying in my head. To go back to Bangkok, I think something that really helped me was just rather than treating this as a complete move to Asia, it's like treating this as a testing phase. And in the process, I've been able to meet so many cool people, meet locals in all these different countries, and make lifelong friends through this one choice. And the best part was, I didn't feel locked into it. And so rather than just theorizing in my head or just talking to AI all the time, I realized that even if this trip didn't give me all the answers immediately, every experience was so valuable. So the shift that really helped me was that instead of seeing risk of moving as a mistake, I saw it as a chance to gather insights that I'd never get by staying in my bedroom in Las Vegas. The second thing that really helped me is set hard decision deadlines. So something my friends and I did a quantum reading the other day, and the person said like,
although pharmaceuticals was not the right thing for you, right? You have a very strategic and highly intelligent mind, and you have a versatile mind. You have the unique ability to think in complex manner and also in long-term ways. This is something that will come very naturally to you, so you may not even realize that.
If you are a deep thinker too, or you just love going down rabbit holes and stuff, is that realizing that we don't lack intelligence, but our brain is looking for kind of certainty. I'm actually a quite impulsive person, so I'll be like, F it, let's go. I mean, that's how I got my penis pierced like when I was 25. But there's this pharmacist side that is like, ooh, let's analyze it more. What really helped me was just to set a deadline, decide, and trust myself to adapt. And rather than debating of when or how to leave or what to do with my stuff, I just booked my flight, and just to really force me and push me to just move forward. And I didn't let the endless planning just stop me. And so I made the move and just trusted that, hey, I'll figure things out along the way. And I just realized that I could always come back. The last thing that really helped me was detaching from the perfect move. When we start overthinking, we can intensify this situation and it becomes super high stakes. Like, instead of just like booking a plane trip and just going to Thailand, I realized that like when my dad passed away, I was putting emotional stakes, and it meant so much more than it actually was. This can be really good for making things like mean a lot, but also like it can really slow us down a lot of times. Matthew Hussey has this great term of lowering the intensity. Now coming out of it, like especially in Asia, I see that there's no perfect move, right? Each place or each situation offers something like different opportunities, and I just refine my decision through the experiences I've had. And so, for example, like I kind of realized like, oh, jiu-jitsu is really important to me. So I should probably stay near a jiu-jitsu gym so I can just go and just walk and not blow all my cash on like Ubers and stuff like that here. Instead of trying to predict the best move, I was just making decisions really quickly and just refining as I went. And it made the process a lot more enjoyable, because a lot of times, like that Brianna Weiss quote that I shared with you earlier, a lot of times what we think is best might not always be the best, and we actually open ourselves to serendipity. We might meet a really cool person. Like the other day, I met my friend Tristan, and he actually has like a 2.3 million or something ridiculous amount of subscribers. And I thought that was freaking crazy that I just met him just eating Thai boat noodles. And I've been meeting so many cool people who have their own startups and businesses out here too. Anyways, if you're an overthinker, please share your experience below. If you have any advice for overthinkers like us, please let us also know. And here's a video that the YouTube algorithm will think you'll like. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Peace, my people. Bye. Whoosh.